Salam Istimewa.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Syarul Abdul Mahdi.
Hi, today I would like to discuss about literary review of telecommunication and technology industry. Okay, what is telecommunication industry? Telecommunication industry is made up of companies that make communication possible on a global scale, whether it is through phone or internet, through airwave or cable, through wire or wireless. The industry creates the infrastructure that allow data, words, video, audio, or video to be sent wherever in the world. The largest company in the sector wireless operator, satellite, company, cable, and service. Next, how about technology industry? Industrial technology is the use of engineering and manufacturing technology to make production faster, simpler, and more efficient. Industrial technology programs typically include instruction in optimization theory, human factor, organizational behavior, industry process, industry planning producer, computer application, and reports and presentation preparations.
Hi, today I would like to explain about the background of Axiata. Axiata primary business is in investment holding and the provision of telecommunication consultancy service on an international scale. Their main focus being emerging market in ASEAN and South Asia. Axiata was incorporated on 12 June in 1992 and was the mobile and international operation arms of Telekom Malaysia Berhad, which is TM. Axiata is one of the leading telecommunication groups in Asia, with approximately 350 million customers in 11 countries in ASEAN and South Asia. The group is listed on the main board of the Bursa Malaysia Security Berhad and ranked as the 6th largest company on the bourse as of 31 December 2011. Our Axiata vision to be a new generation digital champion by 2021. The group has transformed itself from holding entity with a portfolio of pure play mobile asset into a triple core strategy driving business focus to include digital telco, digital business, and infrastructure, with a broader goal of advancing Asia. Axiata pieces together as the best of the region in the term of innovation, connectivity, and talent. As a long-term investor in all Axiata. In 2001, QSM, which is Thomas Fernandes company, purchased in the airline from DRB HiCom. AirAsia never looked back after that. AirAsia first and main base in the low-cost carrier terminal, which is LCCT at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, while it is a secondary hubs at the Kota Kinabalu International Airport, Senai International Airport, and Penang International Airport. AirAsia is well-known as a Malaysian low-cost airlines and even Asia's largest low-fare airline. The airline claims no admin fee but has some fee for service which are free on the other airlines. The AirAsia subsidiaries are like of Thai AirAsia, Indonesia AirAsia, VietJet AirAsia, and AirAsia RedTix. Meanwhile, the AirAsia associate company are the AirAsia X, Tune Hotel, and Tune Mali.
Okay, we proceed to next statutory requirements, which is the MFRS 132. It requires that the issue of the financial instruments shall classify the instruments or its components part on its initial recognition as a financial liability, a financial asset, or an equity instrument in accordance with the substance of the contractual agreements and the definitions of financial liability, financial asset, and equity instruments. Concerned to the financial statements of both companies, which is AirAsia and also Axiata Group, we can assure that both had fully adopted what MFRS 132 guidelines in presenting their financial instrument, financial asset instrument, financial liability instrument, and equity instruments are being presented in accordance with the required standards. To prove above statement, we can see that Axiata Group and Asia has classified their derivative financial instrument, both asset and liability, and present it in the financial statement. This information provides us that this company had the common similarity in their presentations in the financial instrument of both financial statements. Okay, we proceed to MFRS 7. We also can assure that both company AirAsia and Axiata Group had fully applied and adopted the guidelines as required by MFRS 7. The standard required entry to group financial instruments that had the same characteristic into one group, and it's proven that both companies had done in this requirement for the disclosure on their financial instruments in the financial positions. The guideline also required that if the company has a designated or loan or receivable at fair value through profit or loss, it shall disclose some specific requirement, for examples like the maximum exposure credit risk of all operating deposits. AirAsia and Axiata Group had their parts in disclosing the requirements of the maximum exposure to this credit risk both in the notes in the financial statements. Concerning to both companies, the disclosure in the financial statements, we also can say that they had the similarity in applying and adopting the requirement required according to MFRS 7. Okay, for MFRS 2, share-based payments, to compare, Axiata Group had consistently adopted the standard in MFRS 2 since 2012. This information clearly can be traced since the company had disclosed the information in the notes to the financial statements reports. In the disclosure, Axiata Group provided information on the measurements of cash settled awards, the classifications of share-based payments awards with net settlements features for withholding tax obligations, and modifications of cash settled awards to equity settled awards. But for AirAsia, the company does not adopt MFRS 2 since there is a disclosure in the notes to the financial statements state that the share-based payments that brings no impacts on the financial statements of the group following the prospective applications on IFRS 2 in 2006 as all the share options of the company were fully vested prior to the effective date of the standards. To conclude, from the perspective of MFRS 2, the Axiata Group has disclosed and adopted the standards required. Okay, for the last statutory requirement, which is MFRS 1 to 6, accounting and reporting by retirements of benefit plans, both company Axiata Group and AirAsia does not adopt the standard for MFRS 1 to 6 since both company does not provide any information regarding their retirement benefit plans. Therefore, we can conclude that they had the similarity in terms of not adopting MFRS 1 to 6.
Okay, next I will discuss about the MFRS 116 employee benefit. Okay, actually for both company, they seem already apply the MFRS 119 of employee benefit because there is recognition of MFRS 119 standard. First of all, both company had applied the EPF charge to the profit or loss in the period which they relate. And once the contribution have been paid, the group and company have no further payment obligation. Okay, when the contribution is due but unpaid, it is recognized as expenses and liability. Accrued expenses in the year it become paid. Contribution are recognized as an asset to the extent that a cash refund or a reduction in the future payment is available, and the actuarial gain or loss arising from experience adjustment and changes in actuarial assumption are charged in the credit in OCI in the period which they are arise and will be reclassified in the profit or loss. Okay, next we move to the MFRS 15, which is a revenue contract with the customer. Actually, AirAsia Group does not adopt this MFRS yet, but Axiata Group Berhad had adopted this already to apply, and they have modified the respective approach for the initial applications of MFRS 15, and the group enter into the bundle a contract with customer, which include the sales of device and service such as call time, messaging, and other services. If the service or device is separately classified from other item, is the bundle contract, and if a customer can benefit from its separate transaction price based on the considerations specified in the contract is allocated between the separate performance obligation based on the relative SSP. And last is the total revenue recognized remain unchanged where over the contract period. Okay, actually for MFRS system, which is leases, both company Axiata Group and AirAsia Group does not adopt this standard for MFRS system, since both company do not provide any information under this new standard. Actually, MFRS system is the effective date is 1 January 2019, which will supersede MFRS 117 leases, which introduce a single leases accounting model and required leases to recognize asset and liability for all leases with a term of more than 12 months, unless the underlying asset is of the low value. And for the depreciations of leases asset is shown separately from interest on leases liability in the SOPL. Okay, but for lessor, it continues it leases as operating leases or finance leases and account for those two types in the different separate. Okay, next we move to financial instrument, which is MFRS 9. Actually, on 1st January 2018, the Axiata Group Berhad had classified its financial instrument in the appropriate MFRS 9 because there stated that company contain three principal classification categories for financial asset measured at amortized cost, fair value through OCI, and fair value through P&L. For the financial asset is managed and its contractual cash flow financial characteristic. And next, financial liability is designed as measured at fair value through P&L if managed and its performed is evaluated as a fair value basis. And for the financial asset and financial liability is recognized all the entity become a party to contractual provisions of instrument and classified accordingly on initial recognition. Plus, the scope of the standards as never separate because instead the hybrid financial instruments as a whole is assessed for a classification. But for AirAsia Group, actually they don't already adopt this MFRS 9.
Hi, I would like to talk about voluntary disclosure and the corporate social responsibility. So Axiata's corporate social responsibility initiatives range from providing access to electricity from the base stations, providing essential drinking water to the public, to funding scholarship to top talents, and providing access to free education support. Axiata also facilitated disaster preparedness for vulnerable commitments in the markets. The Global Risk 2019 report predicts a very high likelihood of extreme weather and natural disaster. As a founding signatory partner to the GSMA Humanitarian Connectivity Charter, Axiata will continue to do their best to support communities in times of natural disaster loss. Meanwhile, AirAsia provides its corporate social responsibility by providing airline school. The program was organized together with Central Japan International Airport Company Limited (CJIAC), the company that operates Chubu Central International Airport in Nagoya. The associate has also become a diamond sponsor of the town's professional football club, Nagoya Grampus, which plays in Japan's J1 League. As a result, AirAsia's logo is prominently displayed at Grampus main stadium and on the players' official training kits. Next, I will talk about voluntary disclosure and environmental issues.
Axiata conscientiously manages its environmental footprint across the operations to reduce the impacts, particularly in energy consumption and emissions. Axiata goal is to reduce Axiata Group's emissions will be more challenging as they expand their network to connect more people in emerging Asia. They are committed to reducing its carbon footprint by 40% by 2018 from a 2013 baseline. Over the years, EDOTCO has implemented a three-pronged approach of innovating and incorporating lean and green design, increasing fuel efficiency and adopting renewable energy where commercially feasible to meet its carbon reduction target. Then AirAsia. The group is subject to environmental regulations and other environment-related schemes such as the Carbon Offsetting and Reduction Scheme for International Aviation (CORSIA). The group has established a dedicated environmental affairs team within the group's sustainability team to steer the group towards proactive participation in global sustainability matters and ensure compliance with environmental regulatory requirements. Other than reducing the carbon footprint, AirAsia is conscious of the need to manage the consumption of critical natural resources such as water and goods that are made from natural resources such as paper. In addition, AirAsia aims to reduce the impact of waste management.